Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to give my thoughts on the first story trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Yeah, but before that I want to do a correction on my Capcom Lite video. The gist of it is that the update's going to be delayed in May, and most people kind of filled it up. Well, once again, Capcom wasn't really transparent. They were, to some extent, lied to their fans once again, and I give my thoughts about it. So the link is going to be on the description box on that one. So before, before basically the correction was, one, it's not version 2.0, 2.1. I'm most confused with those. It is version 2.1 because a lot of new big changes is happening. There was like new special move for certain character, new move set for animation for some characters, improved background from the DLC such as the Air Force and the Kanzuki Beach. And they're supposed to improve the Capcom Portal Network, the CPN, I think that's what they call it. Fighting Portal, whatever, you know. And a lot of those. But they also introduced like the costume, the Thailand stage. And I said I thought all of them were going to be delayed. My mistake there was that, yes, as of this recording, it should be already out. The costume for Ryu, Chun-Li, Juri, Armika, and Alex, plus the another nostalgic stage, the Thailand stage for Street Fighter 2 for Bison. So that should be out by the time you hear this, because it's supposed to come out on April 25th. So that's still on schedule. My mistake there. What's delayed is just the update and the big major changes, the balances, and the new features from what I heard, which is improved Capcom Pro Network ranking. Like I said, some of the stages were improved. Vespa Arcade basically showed some. And of course the balance changes, which people might go back to it because the latest balance change, a lot of people didn't like it, so they're doing a rebalance again. Who knows? Like I said, just like playing fighting game for casual. So anything there, I don't know. So there's my correction, my mistake. The DLCs are out. They're coming out. They're actually out. The update will be delayed along with the third character for season 2 or the second new character. So yeah, so with that now, I'll give my thoughts on the first trailer of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So Capcom finally released a new trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the story trailer. So pretty interesting, excuse me, is that with that trailer, it actually gave a lot of information what's going on. Of course, from the previous PlayStation Experience trailer, Infinity Stone has a part of it, and I think they extended it by saying that it's mostly like Capcom versus SNK 2 grooves. So, and then of course it's a 2 and 2, kind of keep it simple, like Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, doubling down, keeping it more simple, not too much technical. Kind of understand that because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3, 3 on 3 with assist, and it kind of get messy, especially with 3 with the TAC. I forget what it is, but you know when you try and do an air combo and then you switch to a character, it's the same thing. Just they're trying to keep it simple so even newcomer can get in. I can understand that. So of course they showed more characters of the game. No surprise because there was a leak. People saying what the characters are, and again, no surprise. It's almost accurate. So who are the characters that was shown in the trailer? Well, of course before that was Ryu, Mega Man X, and Morrigan, and then Marvel is Captain America, Iron Man, and a newcomer, Captain Marvel. So they showed Chris Redfield is back, and surprisingly, he looks like from Resident Evil 5, which is don't know why they chose that one. I don't really mind the Rip one, believe it or not. If I'm gonna pick what's my favorite Chris design, I gotta go with 5 and 6 per se. But of course, we don't know about Resident Evil 7, Not a Hero, if that's Chris Redfield, because I just heard, thanks to Backlog Battle, basically tweeting it. Apparently it got delayed. Don't really care much, but I'll probably find out the reason why. Don't know, but surprisingly, they used the Resident Evil 5 one. My guess probably, they probably had the model and they just, remastered it or something. I don't know. I'm not a game developer. Game design is different to a game developer, but different story. So, Again, Chris Redfield. I think I saw Strider and Chun-Li. While in Marvel, it's the Hulk, Thor, and Rocket Raccoon. So that's some of your characters. And two newcomer apparently are both Ultron, finally in a Marvel fighting game, and Sigma, same deal. So apparently the story here is that somehow Ultron and Sigma basically teamed up. They grabbed the Infinity Stone and they apparently some sort of fusion. Well, since both of them are so sort of robot type. Well, Ultron's a AI robot, and Sigma is Reploid, aka Rogue Maverick. So it kind of makes sense, robot, but you get the idea. They fuse and they become Ultron Sigma. So it's Ultron with a sword, and then you see Sigma's face in his chest because that's what Sigma has, some sort of weird design, and then Ultron. So pretty interesting what the story is, what's the deal with this two. But again, you don't have to wait for that long. Surprisingly, I'll explain it later. So there you go, some of the characters, gameplay, of course, like it's basic. Excuse me. And also they revealed that there's gonna be like different SKU for this game. There's a first day edition which has the free bonus pre-order of you get Evil Ryu and Warrior Thor. And then apparently there's a deluxe version with all the stuff. 4 statue, LED, Infinity Stone, all 6 of them in a box. Probably gonna cost a lot of money. And also you get 2 additional bonus costume, which is Gladiator Hulk and Mission Command Mega Man X, which is based on the PS2 games and they're sort of RPG. I played it. It's okay. So there you go. That's like the SKU part. So again, I'm gonna find out more what it is, but as of right now, that's all I found out. Of course, a lot of people, no surprise, Vespa Arcade, Miles 923 did talk about it. Not surprised because, fighting games are less technical, more like chain combo to some extent. And when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was in the arcade, when it first debuted in the arcade, I played it like crazy. So the surprise here is the release date. Apparently, it's going to be September, I think, if I remember, between either 17 or 19, somewhere in that dates. So that's maybe good for some. Maybe it's concerning for some. For me personally, it's sort of concerning. And why did I say that? Like, wow. So at end of April, you release this trailer. Then within 5 months, the game is going to be released for the Xbox One, Steam, and PS4. Kind of concerning. My personal opinion is concerning. Why? Because of Street Fighter 5. And of course, past previous fighting game, whether you believe it or not, they do tend to rush the game out because most of the time they're trying to release it before the fiscal year to make some big quick buck, I guess. And a lot of time the decision wasn't working. So believe it or not, here's a little past history. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was originally going to be released on May, believe it or not. Somehow was way pushed all the way forward to February because they said, yeah, we're going to do some deals, which they kind of did. Then, of course, somewhere down the line in Japan, there was a tsunami. Capcom said there was a tsunami that sort of had to change their tactics, so they created an expanded version. A lot of people do believe that it's kind of like a lie because they say that Capcom wasn't affected with the tsunami. Again, I don't know. If it is, yikes. But if it's not, well, Capcom, shame on you. And then another game they did that with, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Again, there was rumor it was supposed to be summer. Then they pushed it all the way to March. And the game felt it was rushed. And of course, it was rushed because it was unrefined. The gem system just didn't really work. A lot of people hated it. And of course, what Alex said, the reason is, imagine playing RPG in a fighting game. That just doesn't work. And then, of course, Street Fighter 5, they released it in February because of the Capcom Pro Tour of 2016. They admitted it. There you go. So that's the reason why I'm sort of concerned. So if you're releasing it in September, I was just going to say 2017, does that mean everything is ready once it comes out? The rosters are there? Granted, yes, it's been revealed there will be DLC, so that's no surprise. I'll explain it later. Will it have an arcade mode, time attack modes, any other mode for single player, at least arcade mode? How's the online? Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad like Street Fighter 5 in the beginning? And there are other things to unlock like gallery, endings, music. How's the ending going to be? It's going to be like, if it's going to be at least have endings, cool. Excuse me. And if it's going to be like still picture, that's cool too. That's okay. That's not a problem. But the point is it has to have some sort of single content in it, not just play online and that's it. Because not everyone wants to play online. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I know some casual gamers who like to play fighting game, they really don't want to play online. They try to avoid that. By not putting a single player content, you're not really helping your cause, Capcom. So hopefully there's an arcade mode at least as an ending. Gallery mode, a gallery mode ending. At least. Oh my gosh. Oh man, the Street Fighter 4 did not have one. Street Fighter 5, well, the way they did design, probably don't really need it. What else? Street Fighter Cross Second didn't have a gallery ending, which is stupid. When you have to go to YouTube for it, there's something wrong there. So again, kind of concerned a little bit if they're not going to put it in. And of course, chances are they're probably not going to have any hidden characters, or maybe just one or maybe up to four, I'm guessing, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom. So there were only four, because there will be DLC. So like I said, there's DLC, and one of the DLC characters, there will be six apparently at the beginning of the game when the game was released. Sigma is going to be one of the six DLC characters. So you might say, oh crap, so that means you can't put it in the game because you have to put DLC. Okay, so that is a little bit tricky, I know, but the fact you have to understand, whether you agree or not, in perspective development, putting a lot of characters is not that cheap. It takes money. It costs money just to put in a character. Even Ed Boon from NetherRealm Studio, used to be Midway in Chicago, have admitted that the reason why starting with Mortal Kombat 9 or the reboot, they were already working, planning of DLC character because they need to make money. Well then why not just don't do DLC? Well, again, they need to make money. So by just putting in there in the base game and that's it, there's a lot of problem. One is then you can tell that the developers not supporting the game. Two, then people get tired. They're probably not going to play it for long. So that's the reason why DLC centers exist. It's a necessary evil to some extent, especially in fighting game. It's no different with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Remember, Street Fighter 4, maybe the vanilla one did have hidden characters, but people didn't like how you unlock it because it was too convoluted. So they got rid of unlocking character. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had 4. All you needed was a certain amount of points. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, basically DLC. Let's see what else. Of course, no surprise, Street Fighter 5, in order to support the game, you need to have DLC characters. So it's no different than this one. There will be DLC character. If people are offended with that, it's unfortunate, but it is a business. They gotta make money. Either that or they basically just not do Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Just saying. Yeah, so it's gonna be released in September. Kind of again, like I said, kind of a little bit concerning, but we'll see what happens. Maybe there's still E3 coming. Maybe they'll show it. So hopefully it will be complete. It will be not like Street Fighter 5. So hopefully, cross finger, we'll just wait and see what happens. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the story trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Am I gonna get this game? Probably. I mean, I did play the Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's not that bad. Will I try the online? Well, we'll have to wait and see if I'm really that good. So with that, alright, I kind of forget this on my main video, some other key pointer. So one of the most important, in my opinion, per se, is the producer of the game. I kind of talked about this in the past about producers. And at first impression, when they showed the trailer at the PlayStation Experience 2016, I thought it was Ono was the producer. But later on, I read news that it wasn't even Miles 923 basically said it was someone else, which, if I remember, they said it's somebody in Capcom of America that used to work for Marvel at one point. Excuse me. He's the producer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and there's also, from what I heard, other news is that this guy actually is working close with someone who's actually, as of right now, working for Marvel. So that's sort of a good thing per se. Sadly, again, I know it's a business because they were bought by Disney, is that they really want to focus on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the movie ones. Thus, a lot of the costumes are based on the movie rather than the actual comic, like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Because that's what the most popular that most people know about Marvel is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it is what it is. So it wasn't. So it's not Ono. That's already been, I think, corrected. So I forget the guy's name, but he used to work for Marvel. Now he's Capcom, and he's the producer for this game. And like I said, he has a friend that he used to work for Marvel. Is working with him together in like a corporation to make this game good. So again, like I said, it's good that it's not Nitsuma because I don't like to say this, but Nitsuma wasn't really a good job. And there are interviews with Nitsuma about the procedure with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So I think you can just Google that one. And some interesting one. I might give my thoughts about it in the long run, but as of right now, like this particular point here is yes, that it is a new producer. It's not Ono, but Ono is also basically trying to market it, but it is someone else who's producer. All right, this is gonna be just more follow up on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Some of my other thoughts I really wanna give. I decided to watch the trailer again, like more clearly one to see what did I miss. And yeah, I suspected first most of the Marvel characters are in their Marvel Cinematic Universe getup or based on the movies, because sad to say, even the Disney cartoon, they were basically based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My the last enjoyable Marvel cartoon that I ever really liked was Avengers Earth Mightiest Hero because it was based on the comic. Must because I'm just old emoji. So yeah, Hawkeye is based on the movie. Same goes with Rocket Raccoon rather than his space uniform. It's like a space, now it's like a astronaut uniform, I don't know. The one based on Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate. So yeah, I mean, kind of bum me up a bit. Hopefully there'll be like legacy costume for all those Marvel characters. So if I do buy a game, maybe I'll consider buying the legacy costume based on the comic rather than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the only thing I have to say that's cool in my book, that okay, he didn't look like the one from Avengers 2, because I'm sorry, is Ultron. I'm sorry, Ultron in Avengers 2, he looks like crap to me. He's moving mouth, he has eyes. No, 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 that's not what Ultron is. I like the voice because it's not supposed to sound like an AI computer like in Earth Mightiest Zero, but it's supposed to have like that open mouth and that's it, and he has no eyes. It's not supposed to have eyes. It's supposed to have like, no pupil. Well, you know what I mean. So at least that's good for Ultron design. I kind of like it, even believe it or not, Ultron Sigma, was a good design. So that's actually good. I thought they're gonna follow like, oh my god, the Avenger 2 Ultron. I mean, that's just, man, that's just crap. Okay, I'm sorry, it's crap. Yeah. So again, and then of course I rewatched the trailer. Of course, there's a SKU, most common thing, $60. You get two costumes. We talked about it before. $100. I think it's $100. You get four new costume plus the season pass for the characters, including Sigma. It's one of the DLC. They talk about that, and then of course they did mention the big collection diorama one. Apparently it's $200. So for me, no, thank you. The last time I did that was the new 3DS XL. Yeah, so basically that's my follow up about it. The Marvel costume, definitely I knew it's going to be Marvel Cinematic Universe. The question is, will there be X-Men Fantastic Four? I know Miles 923 did mention it, but I know they said from what I heard, again, I could be wrong. The blueprints was the initial game release, which is September 19th, again, a little bit concerning, but apparently I just watched Vesper Arcade's video, so there will be a lot of more modes, so cross finger. It'll be a lot of Marvel characters, no X-Men, no Fantastic Four. And if you know the history, X-Men is owned by Fox, 20th Century Fox. Of course, the Marvel one is Disney, Marvel Studio, but of course they were bought by Disney. And of course, I'm not going to be surprised Spider-Man because of Spider-Man Homecoming. That's a joint effort between Sony and Disney again. So that one you kind of get away with it. But yeah, for this one. If you wonder how come the previous game had a lot of variety character, but now it's only Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate was developed before like the deal was sealed with Disney and Marvel. Now it's been a long time since Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so now it is what it is. So maybe DLC, one of them will be Wolverine, wouldn't be surprised. So that's my follow-up. Alright, before I close this video, another update just happened, and that is not really surprising that the Thailand stage, or what they officially call the Temple Hideout stage, which is Bison's Street Fighter 2 stage, as of right now is disabled for purchasing. And Capcom did make an official statement, and I did say this before, that even so the song, I have to say it's catchy. I know let's just say what's the word I'm going to say? I guess I'm just going to say quote unquote lyrics. Yeah, it was a bit concerning for some. I mean, the thing really is that from what I heard, nobody was really offended from what I heard, but I guess it's just out of consideration for, I guess, for the non-gamer to the general consumer. Maybe they don't want to offend anyone, so they rather take it safe rather than sticking with their guns, I guess. Again, that's up to Capcom. Yeah, either way, the problem with the situation is going to be either is that damn if you do, damn if you don't. Why? Let's just say if you say they stick with their gun, somebody's going to get basically consider someone's going to get considered. You trying to remove it, trying to fix it. The other people are going to get considered, saying, "Oh, it's censorship." It's the whole deal nonsense. So, what can you do? It's a business. So yeah, I mean, no surprise that they did that. I just wanted to point it out there. My thoughts about it really is, I don't know. It's hard to say. So yeah, with that again.